Hello and welcome to this 30-minute post-workout flow. I just wanted to hop on here quick to do a quick little preface, just saying that this was the flow that I did for myself after my combat class. So I think this workout would be good for anyone who just did a cardio or a workout that involved a lot of the leg muscles, a lot of hips, hammies. I did do some stretches for arms and backs, but this was really intended for a quick stretch out after a leg-based cardio workout. With that being said, I did not do much warming up of the body right away, as I was already warm myself. So please, if you're following this flow, make sure that your body is warm. If you do not do this after a workout yourself, just make sure to give yourself that time to warm up the body first, move around your joints before you do this. And further ado, here's the flow. It was supposed to be just a quick 10-minute one, but I ended up going a little longer. I didn't go in with any plan, so it ended up being a 30-minute flow. This is because I just went in and listened to my body and gave it what it needed. With that being said, I suggest you do the same, even though you are fully capable of following the flow exactly as it is. If there's any time or moment that doesn't feel as good for you, or if you want to hang out in any spots longer, please do that. You can press pause on the video or just skip something if you don't want to do it. Listen to your body and enjoy.
We're starting out just in a standing position, settling into our body after our workout, slowing down the heart rate. Just taking nice, slow, deep breaths. Maybe find your ground through your feet to spread out your toes. Maybe moving your shoulders around. Maybe moving your neck, swaying back and forth, just settling in here. Inhale, raise arms up. Exhale, bend at the knees, fold forward. Inhale, hands towards shins. Exhale, fold forward, hands to ground, step or hop back to plank. Exhale, down through chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, hips rise up and back toward downward facing dog. We're just going to stay here for a couple of moments to do whatever feels good. I was really in need of a calf stretch here, so I was pedaling out the feet, taking extra time on each side. Inhale, right foot up to sky. Exhale, shift weight forward, knee towards nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, shift forward. A couple more times at your own breath. Inhale to rise the leg up. Exhale to shift the weight forward and bring the knee towards the nose. When you're ready, you can open up the hip from the three-legged dog to do a nice hip stretch here. It may feel good to get in a deeper stretch going down on the forearms. We're moving back up to our three-legged dog, shifting forward on the exhale and stepping the right foot forward. Find your grounding and move up to your high lunge. Inhale to rise your arms. Exhale to straighten the front leg and cactus. Inhale to raise them up, bend into your lunge. Exhale back to cactus arms with a straight leg. Move through these motions at your own breath. Clasp your hands behind your back to do a nice chest opening here in your high lunge. Either float your knee right back down to a low lunge, or use your hands to get down however you'd like. Hands back down to the ground here. We're just going to move through some low lunges back into our half splits. Inhale to move into the low lunge. And exhale to move back into the half split. I have both of my hands on the inside to keep my hip out just a little bit for a bit of a deeper stretch there, but you do what you'd like. If you'd like to add the arms as I am now, inhale to float the arms up to your low lunge. Exhale to float them back to our half split. When you're ready, we'll meet in the half split, and this is a time that you can take to just play in this position, maybe floating the knee and hip out to just get a deeper stretch. I like to sway a little bit just to move into that hip joint. If you are craving stillness here, do that. Exhale to go back to the half split now. Same thing, we're going to hang out here. Breathing through these deep stretches. You'd like to go deeper. Remember, your breath is key. Inhale to raise up a little bit, and exhale to go deeper into the stretch. When you're ready, you can inhale and go on your hands just enough to lift yourself up to bring your knee forward, right knee towards the right side of the mat, and your left foot out towards parallel to the right knee. We're going to be moving to our deeper hip stretch here, our pigeon pose. Take time first to settle in. I always like to stay upright first to settle really into my hips. If you'd like to pick up your back foot here, it is quite the stretch. However, even if you don't want to stretch out the leg too far, I find it very nice for opening up my shoulder as well. Place your hands at the front, just deepening into this pose even more. Inhaling, coming up, exhaling, just shifting your chest forward. Doing that as many times as you'd like until you feel settled enough into this position that you were able to go down a little lower, either staying on your hands, your forearms on blocks, or all the way down. Every body is different, every side is different, and every day is different, so don't judge where you are, just do whatever feels good for your body. We want a deep stretch, but we don't want pain. When you're ready, slowly rise up. Either settle back into that stretch with an upright position, or if you practice King Pigeon, you can try to grab your back foot, just opening up the shoulder. If you'd like to put a bit of a back bend into it, remembering that if you are not fully warmed up, depending on what you did before this flow, we want to be careful with the deep back stretches. When you're ready, we can inhale back into our three-legged dog and open up the hip, exhaling to drop the foot to the outside. And if you'd like to move down into Wild Thing, you can do so, or just hang out with the hip stretch before going back down into Downward Dog. Once again, doing what feels good. Before walking or hopping to the front of the mat, inhaling all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. This is a good time to take water or do whatever you need to do before doing the other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward, bend at the knees. Inhale, hands towards shins. Exhale, fold forward, hands to ground. Step or hop back to your plank and move through Chaturanga to an inhaled upward dog. Exhale, shift hips back and up to your downward dog. Once again, pedaling out the feet if you'd like. When you're ready, inhale, left foot up, three-legged dog. Exhale, shift weight forward. Move through the same motion a few more times at your own breath. Inhale to lift through three-legged dog. Exhale to shift weight forward. Bring your knee towards your nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale to open your hip towards the left. Do a nice hip stretch. If you'd like to get a little deeper and go in your forearm, you can try that. Otherwise, we'll meet in our high lunge. Making sure to stabilize the feet first, embrace the core, and then float yourself up. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, cactus the arms, straighten the left leg. Inhale, arms up, bend into your lunge. Exhale, cactus, straighten. A couple more times at your own breath. Inhale, arms up in your lunge. If you'd like this option to clasp your hands behind and move your knee down to a low lunge, either straight from the high lunge or moving through table using your hands down to the ground. You can take a bit of a stretch here. Otherwise, we'll meet into our low lunge to half split vinyasa. Hands either framing the front foot for your low lunge or to the inside of your left foot to the right. Inhaling as you go into your low lunge. Shifting your hips forward, exhaling, shifting your hips back into your half split. Just moving through a bit of a flow here to warm up this side of your hips. If you'd like to incorporate the arms, now's the time to do so. Remember to embrace the core. The stabilization can get a little tricky here. Inhale, arms up to low lunge. Exhale, arms back. Shift hips back to half lunge. When you're ready, deepen yourself into the low lunge, whatever that means for you. Once again, hands either framing the foot or to the inside. If you'd like to play with rolling to the outside of your foot to allow your hips to go outward a bit more, to get a little deeper, you can. And moving back to our half split to hang out here a little bit. We are sitting our hips back. They don't necessarily have to be touching the ground. When you're ready, start to shift your weight forward back into a low lunge. Go up on your toes just a little bit so you have space to move your knee of your left leg and your left foot towards the front of your mat into your pigeon pose, and start to settle into this position. Moving the hips around, pressing into your leg a bit, getting just a little of a bit of a back bend, sorry. If you'd like to try and grab your foot behind, you can, or simply just use it without pulling it in that far as a little bit of a shoulder opener. Whatever works for you. Hands out to the wide ends of the mat to do a bit more of a flow, inhaling to lift up, exhaling to float down. Just moving with your breath into this stretch before finally going down into this pose. And now remember, each side is different. This side for me was definitely much tighter. It took me a bit more of a second. I had to go on my forearms a bit more longer to settle more into it before I went fully down. Once again, we want a deep stretch, but we don't want any pain, so just go where it feels good for you and stay there. When you're ready, you can bring your hands up towards your knees. You can push yourself up. If you'd like to get one more stretch in, a bit of a back bend, you can try and go for king pigeon if it is in your practice, or you can just get a bit more of a thigh stretch if you'd like to grab your foot or stay in pigeon a little longer before placing your hands down on the ground. Go up on your toes, embrace your core, and gently move up through your three-legged dog. If it feels good to open up your hip, possibly drop down into wild thing, you can do that. Just do what feels good. Coming out of pigeon pose, I usually like to do a bit of a hip opener after that pose to counteract. Pedaling out your feet in downward dog before hopping or stepping to the front of the mat to move through our vinyasa. Inhaling, knees to shins. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, floating our hands all the way up. Exhaling down. Moving through plank or table, dropping down to chaturanga. Inhaling up through upward dog and back to our downward facing dog. Now you can either stay in your downward dog here, hang out, pedal at the feet, or you can follow along with these little back curves here. I like to do these for warming up and moving through the spine. As you inhale, you're going to drop the chin and push your back forward as if you're pushing into someone's hand. Exhale, you're going to shift your hips back like you're curving your back, looking up, and you're creating a wave in your back. Do that as many times as it feels good before moving down, putting your knees down on the ground and moving through tabletop. Like to get a bit of a stretch here. You can move into wide-legged child's pose with your knees wider to the edges of the mat or past. If you like to just keep a regular child's pose, your knees can be more together. Hands can be above your head or beside your legs. Here's a moment to just settle back into the body. This was a cool down stretch, but it still was something. It was work with all the stretching, so we have to relax from the cool down stretch. You can shift your hips up and walk your hands out to the front of the mat. Do our puppy pose. Keep your gaze up towards your hands, and we're really trying to emphasize the bend in the back. Once you're satisfied with that, we can move to each side, walking the right hand through under the left, doing a nice shoulder stretch there. You should feel it in your left shoulder. And when you're ready, walk the right hand back up front and weave the left hand underneath the right armpit. Keeping the hips up the whole time. Back to our puppy stretch, both hands up front. If you like to move into a prayer pose, this is a bit more of a tricep stretch. So you can hold your hands together and lift them up towards behind your neck. Then move into a bit of a groin stretch here, as if you were going to be doing a wide-legged child's pose with your knees out wide, but stay on your forearms and just kind of move through those motions. You can feel it right in your hips. When you're ready, you can just find yourself on your knees on the mat. We'll do some final little stretch outs here. Hands behind the back, clasped. Do a nice shoulder stretch here. And then you can clasp your hands behind your neck and really outstretch your chest. Open your chest up on an inhale, looking up. On the exhale, bend into your upper back, stretching out the neck. Finding yourself in a comfortable seated position. Legs crossed or legs in front, legs bent, whatever feels good for you. If you have a block at your disposal, it may feel good to sit on that. Just moving through some spinal movements here. Really just do whatever feels good for your spine here. Kind of do like some seated cat and cows. On the inhale, you're going to shoot your chest forward and open up. On the exhale, round into the spine, and just do whatever feels good. I am inhaling to open up my chest, and on the exhale, I'm actually rounding my back and going down into a bit of a roll on the mat before finding myself fully down on the mat. When you're ready to settle back into more of a still posture, you can meet me down there. You can start with just a wide-legged hip opener here. Start with your knees together, your hands on both of them holding it, and then just let them open up to the outsides as if you were kind of pulling them in towards your armpits. You can stay still in this pose, or if you'd like to move around a little bit, massaging into your lower back, you can. If you'd like to move on into a happy baby pose, you can lift your feet up towards the sky and grab onto the outsides of your feet with your hands. From here, we can put the soles of the feet together as if you're doing a butterfly pose, but laying down. Using your hands to help keep your feet together, possibly help push your legs and hips open just a little bit more without causing any pain. Moving on to individual hips, just simply drop the left foot down to the bottom of the mat and keep hold of the right foot and shin, knee, and just kind of move it around in your hip socket. And when you're ready, you can take an inhale to squeeze your right knee into your chest. On the exhale, I'm going to slowly move it down across the body, bring it to the left side into our spinal twist. So our left knee is across the body on the left side, our right hand is to the right side, and our gaze is over to the right. Ready, you can hug your right knee back into your chest before simply switching legs, letting the right leg drop down and bring your left knee now into your chest. Open the hip back up so the left knee is now to the left side in that half butterfly shape, feeling the deep stretch in the hip. And then start to simply move your knee and leg as if you're massaging your hip socket. When you're ready, you can inhale to bring your knee into your chest and exhale to drop the left knee over towards the right side. Let your gaze move towards the left side into our spinal twist. When you're ready, you can take your time to bring your left knee back up towards the center of your chest. And then you can meet your right knee with your left knee and give them both a nice big hug. Squeezing them in, bringing your head up to your knees, giving a nice big squeeze, a last bout of energy here, until finally releasing everything. Moving into our final resting pose here. This is whatever is most comfortable for you. I am in Shavasana myself, simply a lay down position, feet to the opposite corners of the mat. Help to squeeze your shoulder blades together just a little bit so your chest can fall open comfortably. Take just a few moments to settle into this posture. We'll take a few falling out breaths together before settling completely in. Take a nice big inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. 2 more just like that. Inhale through the nose and sigh it out. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Settling in here. Focus on making the exhales of your breath a little bit longer than the inhales for a few moments. For example, a count of 2 or 3 inhale and a count of 4 or 5 exhale. As mentioned in one of my Explore Your Breath series, the inhale is what brings energy into the body, and the exhale is what brings relaxation into the body. So when you are in your final relaxation, you want to give more of a longer exhale to really calm the body down. Once you're finished with those, just let your breath go back to its natural pace. And we'll relax everything here, let everything go. Start out at our head. We'll start out at our forehead. Let's relax that forehead. Make sure there's no creases there. Relax the space between your brows at your third eye. Part your lips to allow your jaw to fall. Release your tongue from the roof of the mouth. Moving down to our shoulders, relax any tension, let any tension go. Moving down, scanning your arms, down to your elbows, your wrists, your hands. Make sure you're not holding on to any tension. Moving back up through the arms and then to the chest, to the hips. We often hold a lot of tension in the hips and just try to let them completely relax here. Moving down to our knees, our ankles, our feet, our toes. Just relax everything here. You don't need to be doing anything else. Just being still as you are. Thanking your body for what it allowed you to do today, whatever workout you did before this flow. And then being able to move yourself through this flow. We'll take just a couple more minutes here to be still with our breath, with ourselves, just be. start to bring awareness back into our breath. If you like, you can lengthen your inhales now compared to your exhales to invite more energy into your body as we reawaken it from its relaxation. When you're ready, you can start to invite small movements into your body, possibly wiggling the fingers and toes. Then moving on, rolling out the wrists and ankles. Maybe swaying the neck from side to side. And when you're ready, you can slowly bring your hands above your head and give yourself a nice big stretch, like you're just waking up in the morning. And when you're ready, you can find yourself in a seated position, however you'd like to get there. You can bring your hands together. A nice big inhale to lift your hands above your head. And bring your prayer hands down to your chest or your third eye. Thank you for joining me today on this little over 30-minute post-workout flow. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to be putting out more videos, and obviously, as you can see, the video has gone. It cut me out for just a little bit. But thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.